All right, everybody. Good morning. Wow. We have amazing group of humans in the chat today. Great to see you all nice and early. Once again, a big shout out and thank you to Walter Tomaszewski sending me stuff, it seems like, on the regular. For those of you looking to send stuff, I just want to say thank you. You can send it to the P.O. Box, which is actually in the channel description. And if you're trying to redirect stuff, you have to allow maybe an extra week for it to get to where it's going to go, because I usually only go to the postal station once a week. I'm lazy like that. Or maybe I'm just making content for you. I don't know, something like that. But it is great to see you all out there today. And a big shout out again, and thank you to those of you who were here nice and early, like Commander Ed Straker of Shadow, posting this 18 hours ago. Wild stuff. There's Barry the Music Man. We had a good time last night. I loved hanging out with Lou. And you. Bill Blum, how's it going? Wonder if YouTube will pass audio when CC starts the feed. I don't know. Juliet is here, and she said hi to everybody. Thank you so very much, Juliet, for being the Walmart greeter of the channel. We got Jill out there. Being the moderator that she is, making sure that everybody is less cantankerous than I am, which is hard to do. There's Walter. In case you don't see what I'd written on your Discord server, only the black is UV stabilized. Okay, that's fair. Making it suitable for outdoor use. The orange and green are indoor use only. Fair enough. Look, I do a lot of wire bundling, as you guys can probably imagine here in the studio, and I'm going to be rebuilding an entire rack system overhead, that'll be intact for the next year or so. So just keep that in mind. I think that I think things are good. I think you guys are good. I think you guys are amazing. And I just want to say thank you so very much. We got Georgia Peach out there. She's going to miss today's live, but she's going to catch it on the replay, so I expect a hashtag replay gang. If you're watching on the replay, in the comments below, you only have to say hashtag replay gang, and then hit the thumbs up, because that helps. Comments and everything that you do after this show airs is very important. It makes the algorithm see me. I feel seen, and that's a good thing. JPRPH1 is out there today and every day. We've got Frank. Frank's here. Say hi to Frank, everybody. Ms. Pick Cafe is holding down the fort over on Grumble. Grumbling a lot today. Corporeal Being, Crazy White Boy, and many others. Hopefully the weatherman makes it in today. We've got the beautiful Deeple. What's going on? Dr. Jill over there as well. We've got Snortapoopus Q Burr over here, our favorite polar bar. Hope things are going well in Florida. We've got Crouching Taylor, Hidden Swifty. That's right. Yeah. For all you Swifties out there. Little Tay-Tay. Tay-Tay. Today. Anyway. Shake it off. All right. Who else is out there today? Barry's here. Watched Culture He-Man videos. So far, my friends on Facebook are loving it, but everyone on YouTube hates it. I'm going to take a look at it. Because I have to give you an honest review today, I have not watched my friends' opinions yet. So I don't know what Tom and Andre think, and I'm probably better off for it until after I've seen the movie, and then I'll take a look at it. I'm going to drop that video. If you're a member of the channel, if your name appears in green over here, if you have a green name, you are a channel member. Guess what? That means that you are going to get the members first treatment. We do that with 2 to 3 videos. 2, 3, there's fingers. Okay. Not the finger you're worried about. Anyway, those you get them 2 or 3 times a week. I give the videos out early. We're going to start seeing more production of videos, so you're going to see more videos every day. So keep an eye out. Looks like a lurking work day for our friend Crazy White Boy, and also phone lurking for OC Dobbins. He's amazing, friends. Okay, you know what? You got to show up on a live. Speaking of lives, Saturday in the park, you'll think it was the 4th of July because the high rollers are back. Well, on their front, too. We've also got, a flag in the chat. Happy Friday Eve. That's right. Working and lurking. Scott Pelly, the douche canoe. And Jonathan Conroy. Great to see you, buddy. Thank you, Texas84. And thank you to everybody out there this morning. That includes the lovely Lily and Libby Priest. All right, folks. 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are and whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6 Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about. Not a lot of time to do it, and we're going to start first with things that are doing well in the box office, and none of them are Disney. Backrooms is crossing 100 million, or it did yesterday on June 3rd. Today is the 4th. So that's the first time that's happened that fast or that quickly for A24. So in other words, they spent their money wisely. Disney, they don't have a history of doing that, especially recently. Tulsa King's going to be moving to New York for season 5. The writer's room is opening the show up there. I can't wait to see this. By the way, Tulsa King's one of the best shows on television, only on Paramount Plus, so you'll have to get that. Speaking of things that are good, I used to think Paul Rudd was good, and then he got corrupted by Hollywood, and he never ages. He looks the same here as he did in Friends almost 30 years ago. And he's tired of being typecast as Paul Rudd. Well, he should stop being so Paul Rudd, because guess what? That's what you're going to get cast as. You know, the sarcastic, sardonic humor is basically what he's known for. And at best, that's what he's always going to be cast as. The character's not going to change, even if he is Ant-Man. Sorry. Speaking of sorry, Barry Weiss is not sorry. We got to talk about Scott Pelley's, insanity. We also have to talk about Deadline trying to redirect to an ad. Screw those guys. Barry Weiss defends Scott Pelley's firing, says, we had to part ways. That's the path he chose. It's very clear in the letters, which we'll get to in bonus time. So stick around. We'll talk more Scott and Barry and everybody in between in just a moment. But Leslie Stahl and Bill Whitaker, are they going to exit? Maybe. Scott Pelley was the last of the Mohicans over there, the very aged out group of people who are totally happy to lie to you and pretend they're not. The compromised media is more than a little frustrating for people like me and you, it seems, because, hey, Spencer Pratt and Steve Hilton surged hugely. Nearly 2/3 of California primary ballots were counted, and then it went down back to 56%. What does that mean, guys? What does that mean? Why would all of a sudden there would be an adjustment backwards? I think I've seen this movie before, and I did not like the outcome. Let's move on to Mason Thames is set to be in the new John Wick spinoff, Kane, from Donnie Yen and Lionsgate. This should be good, guys. I really like Donnie Yen. I think his character was great in John Wick, and he seems to be ageless, no matter what. Speaking of no matter what, Tom Holland called Sony Pictures boss to delay Spider-Man Brand New Day filming so he could star in the Odyssey and give you exactly not a good adaptation of that film. Nolan is about to suck rocks for the second time in his career, and it's not a good path. You can't have a hit and then a miss and then a hit and a miss. You can't bat 500 in Hollywood. You need to be around 700. Speaking of which, Sonic 4 is coming, guys. That's right. Kristen Bell reveals a sneak peek at the recording process as she starts to voice Amy Rose. I could not be more excited about this. Ben Schwartz is giving an enthusiastic response to her update about the forthcoming Paramount franchise film. I want more Sonic in my life. How about you guys? What do you think? Are you looking forward to this? I am. I'm also looking forward to mocking this. Supergirl's advance tickets went on sale. That's right, get tickets after they dropped a terrible trailer on your face, trying to indicate there's going to be a lot more Superman in there. With terrible color grading. They really just shoot this thing in RAW and never bring up the color. I know some of you work at Hollywood. Can you explain that to me in small words, in great detail? Because I would like to know why they don't bother anymore. Are they trying to pretend they still have film grain and depth with cellulose? Because even, grain effects would work better. I have grain effects that work better. What is happening here? This thing opens on June 26th, and it looks like it's going to fail harder and join the fail boat of, Superman. Or even worse than that, around Black Adam, which was a tank of a fall. Zendaya and Tom Holland spoke up about Spider-Man Brand New Day, talking about when scenes weren't working and the script wasn't working for them. Rewrites were inspired by them, and I'm not inspired by them at all. I'm very disappointed in the path of Brand New Day, and I will not be very excited to see it, but I'll do it so you don't have to. That's coming up shortly. Oh, hey, anime time. That's right. Because Crunchyroll has set an Anime Expo lineup with programming on Demon Slayer, The Apothecary Diaries, and Gachika Kuta. I don't know how to say that word. Sorry, guys. But it looks like this is going to be amazing. We need more of this in our life and less of the Holly weirdness. Speaking of Holly weirdness, U.S. sanctions Iran's largest digital asset exchange, Novatex, and three others. In other words, we're going to starve you financially. You're not going to be able to pay your soldiers. How do you think that's going to make them feel? Report disruption of Mideast energy supplies into next year could slam global economy. It couldn't happen to a bunch of know nothings, do nothings kind of people in the globalist center elite. What if you had to pay for things? What if Brussels was on fire? Wait, that's happening this morning. And Macy's raises annual outlook once again ahead of, the next quarter. Fourth quarter sales once more rising at a rate unexpected. We've got Indonesia arresting former nutrition agency head and officials in corruption investigation, which is long overdue. They keep arresting people for corruption there. I wonder why. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I present bonus time, and you're going to get today's bear story. So I want to say thank you for being here for the 6 minutes proper. And we need to take a look at the bars. The bars. And look, the bars are important. In fact, they are so important that we take great care in relocating them when they make their way into the wrong place at the wrong time. It seems to be happening more and more frequently. It seems to be the large majority of the stories that I am covering these days, if you guys haven't noticed. And that's not good. So let's jump into that bonus story, and then we'll head over into more of the 60-minute stuff and your comments. So the DNR relocated a 150-pound black bear. That's just a little guy. This is a little guy. Doesn't weigh I weigh more than that. And they relocated it from a Mount Pleasant neighborhood by tranquilizing it. So he's having a little nap, little nappy poo. That's right. And this happened yesterday. And look, I think that this Mount Pleasant relocation of a 150-pound black bear was needed. You don't need him running around a neighborhood. You don't need him climbing a tree, which is what he was doing. So the Department of Natural Resources came and collected him. The police were helpful. And in these situations, removal is the safest option for people, pets, and property, and the bear itself, because they won't become part of the neighborhood trying to steal your food and open your trash cans. Bears are very adept these days, and we need to keep them away from easy food methods in our neighborhoods. So if you live in Michigan, lock up your trash cans, or I'll yell at you, because you need to be bear aware. So a series of events happened over at 60 Minutes, and we are going to talk about those in just a moment. Just a moment. And I think that will be worth a conversation. Let's see. We're also going to talk about killing a restaurant business. We'll get to that one too. Look at all these great people in the chat. I hope you're having a spectacular day. Dean Krantz is out there. Yes, Mount Pleasant is my hometown, but there have been a lot less fires north of here, and I think it was looking for a safe place this summer. Probably. I mean, it's a little guy, 150 pounds. That's a cub. Okay, it's a little bigger than a cub, but it's on its way. It's on its way to being a full-grown bar. Be bear aware. Yeah, and always check you're wearing clean underwear. That's right. Thank you, Randall Orser, for the advice. Canole says that's going to make for a good movie. Corrupt Mormon cops and Legos. Yeah. This, I'm telling you right now, the bricks and minifigs controversy at the moment, which I'm not going to comment on here. I think you're right. You're going to see a movie on this very, very soon. Be bear aware. Always check you're wearing underwear. Indeed. Hey, there's Jed. What's up, Jed? Bears. That's right. Dark Eagle in the house. Good to see you. Happy Thursday, indeed. In doodly deedly. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing the 199 t-shirt, and I got my quarter black hat on today, and this is how I'm going to the movies. So we'll see if anybody hates me. I mean, should I go eat worms? Probably. All right, friends, let's start with the saga of 60 Minutes began. And if you didn't get a chance to watch. It was Lou and you on the backlot last night where we talked about the breaking stories happening around 60 Minutes, the compromised news program that doubles as propaganda for CBS. And the fact that Barry Weiss is trying very, very nobly to reorient that show back to legendary status. And she's doing that by the elimination of the compromised. And boy, was that show compromised. In fact, it was so compromised that they had to get rid of this guy, Bill Owens. Bill Owens was the 60 Minutes boss who scorned CBS News overhaul of the show and found his way out the door. And the former executive producer took a moment Monday night to issue a warning about what's happening to the long running news magazine under its executive producer and the people who currently run CBS. Yeah, they're not going to bother with lying to the public anymore. They're going to tell the truth. Watch out. Watch out. Yeah. Demon Slayer movie will probably stream in July. That's good news. Thank you, Texas 84. I did not know that. But anyway, so this guy, this chucklehead, is gone. And he said CBS News and 60 Minutes are institutions. I don't know about that. I mean, you'd like to think that, but not really. I mean, you stopped being an institution when you put famous liars on there and allowed them to tell their lies. One of those people exited, who claimed to have been in combat, who was embedded actually with soldiers, but the closest he got to combat was the soldiers he was standing next to. So there's that. But he says, yeah, these are not places where partisans and ideologues should be employed. I agree. And you were one of those ideologues and partisans, you douche. So, yeah, he bailed. He's gone. And that's that. So they're saying that Paramount is trying to interfere with the show. These claims have been made, but there's been no evidence to substantiate them. Therefore, should we really pay attention when people like this cry wolf? I don't think so. I think it's painfully obvious what's being done and by who and why. I think that's a thing. So I found another story this morning, courtesy of Lou, about this. So let's take a look at it. We'll move on to the next story in our segment. Barry Weiss is at CBS for one reason and one reason only. Well, maybe two reasons, one of which was over $100 million in her pocket. But it's because of this. Barry Weiss came to chew gum and shake up CBS News, and she is so out of gum. That's a great thing. Stephen Cruiser over there at PJ Media wrote this one, and it says specifically, it was first merely hinted at last year Barry Weiss might be put in charge of CBS News, I was quite excited. This is an opinion piece, guys, so just be aware. Monitoring and calling out the old guard, biased media monoliths like the broadcast networks and the New York Times has long been my thing. I knew that there would never be substantive change at any of these news outlets unless one of these boats got rocked until it almost capsized. If Weiss were to be entrusted with the calcified bias machine that was CBS News, some rocking was sure to happen. I would say it is. It is. And Weiss has that unique combination of both insider and outsider cred, which is why I had such high hopes for her. This is from the post that I wrote when the rumors first began circulating. And I remember being also excited when this was happening. This is the post that he wrote. So she eventually wound up at Substack, where she turned the free press into a new media juggernaut worth over $100 million. So Weiss was savaged by all the other of the shrillest voices in the shill media, and especially on the left, during her exit from the New York Times, where she wasn't going to exist much longer anyway, because they can't afford to have somebody that's not ideologically captured amongst them. So she turned that into quite the success, and in turn was acquired by Paramount Skydance. In a not too distant past, running afoul of the New York Times was a career seppuku. And Weiss's trajectory would have seemed impossible. And yet, guess what? We are all in the new media space where we get to speak freely, and we get to speak truth to power, truth to everything. Truth is important. It's a powerful weapon. You should produce your truth and your facts simultaneously. I don't believe in your truth or my truth or any of that other stuff. There's just one source of information, and I think if you have the facts behind you, that's truth. So, on cue, a lefty social media mob began heaping derision on Weiss before she officially got the job at CBS, which was the surest way to guarantee that she was right for it, which I agree with. So, she went over there and decided we need to clean house. And so they did so. And that inspired the elite douchery. Let's see if I can get this onto one page. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Behind the scenes, I'm trying to get things to move properly. I did not mean to do that. That was oopsie. Sorry. All right, let's see if I can get this centered. There we go. Let's move on to the actual events. So Scott Pelley decided to spout off during a staff meeting, the very first one from the new producer, Nick, over there at 60 Minutes. Nick had reached out to Pelley prior to this staff meeting and was roundly rejected. He invited him to dinner, roundly rejected. Pelly is a snobby douchebag, and Nick Bilton was trying to, create an opportunity to collaborate with somebody who, despite being, chronically wrong on things, is well known, right? Well known media personality. And that's what I'm going to call him because I don't believe he's a urinalist. I mean, he might be a urinalist, but he's not a journalist. And this is one of the problems. So you can read the letter here. This is out of the Washington Post. Read the letter firing Scott Pelley from 60 Minutes and his response, which was equally wiry and something that his lawyers are going to be very angry at him for releasing. This contentious meeting the day before they fired this guy for cause, by the way, which they did have plenty of. Let's go ahead and read through this. So this is written by Scott Nover and Liam Scott. On Tuesday evening, 60 Minutes correspondent Scott Pelley was fired following a heated meeting with executive producer Nick Bilton. Bilton was named to the job last Thursday, a week from today, a week ago today, I should say, following CBS News editor-in-chief's decision to fire the silly producer Tanya Simon, who was politically driven, and some other top producers, including two correspondents, which were also politically driven correspondents, Sharon Alfonsi and Cecilia Vega. So there's that. And at the beginning of the meeting, Pelley, being the epic douche that he is, asked in the meeting, what qualifies you to be in this position? Pelley accused Weiss of murdering 60 Minutes, amongst many other things, and that led to the following letter, which we will read. He was fired Tuesday when Bilton basically said, you ostentatious douche. Okay, maybe it wasn't that flowery, but yeah. Oh, and we got a super duper chat in the chat. Thank you for that. That's helpful. Almost like they didn't think about consequences. Well, wait till you read this because the exposure here is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Beep, 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 beep. So, dear Mr. Pelley, which he spelled incorrectly because I think there's two L's in there. But by the way, delicious. Delicious. I meant what I said in my letter last week to the 60 Minutes team. Joining 60 Minutes is an honor of my career, and I'm grateful to be working alongside the people who have contributed to the most important television journalism brand in this country. And while I'm new to 60 Minutes, I've devoted my career to investigative journalism and storytelling. I started this job excited to collaborate and to benefit from the wisdom and experience of the 60 Minutes veterans, with you among them. For that reason, one of the things I did in my new role was to call to talk and invite you to dinner. It is a profound disappointment that you rejected that overture and chose ambush instead. Yesterday, you hijacked my first meeting with a staff to disparage me, my qualifications, and my intentions with remarkable incivility and contempt. I welcome a diversity of viewpoints and respectful debate among the team, but this is nothing of the sort. Yesterday's performative display of hostility enacted in front of the staff, instead of in a civil, private conversation, demonstrated that you have no interest in contributing to the future success of the show or approaching my new tenure with a mind open to collaboration and progress. I hope to deliver first in class news programming, not to make headlines about newsroom drama. I am eager to work alongside those who share this goal. Despite yesterday's misconduct, I had hoped that in sitting down with you today, we could find a path forward together. You made clear that you are not interested in such a path. Your antipathy to the future of the show has come through loud and clear, and I have heard you. I am therefore, I therefore write on behalf of CBS News Inc. to inform you that your employment with CBS is terminated for cause effective immediately. Enclosed is your formal termination letter. Wild, wild stuff. Hey, John, good to see you, buddy. Culture Sugar Daddy, what's up, Tony? Says Mr. Pelly just found out no one is untouchable. Yeah, he got touched a lot. Probably not super excited about it at all. All right, let's get back to it. So this was Nick Bilton's letter to Epic Douchebag. Sorry, friends, I have to use the occasional challenging words because the other words I would use are not polite. So, Belly responded in a late night statement that was shared with the Washington Post. Wow, I can't speak today. Yeah, Prelly is so toxic right now that even PBS won't hire him. Nobody wants to hire this guy. This was ridiculous. So he wrote, there was never been anything in America like 60 Minutes. I agree. And then it became the most corrupt news programming on television. The Sunday Tradition is the most successful program of any kind in history. I think that's a stretch. I really do. For more than a decade, its innovative growth on every major online platform has extended its reach to countless millions around the world. This spring, at the end of our 58th season, 60 Minutes grew rapidly with an unheard of 9% jump in viewers on CBS. Did it? That wasn't widely reported. Regardless, he said some ridiculous stuff, and we'll get to it. So last month, 60 Minutes lost its DNA when our entire senior leadership and two of our best on-air correspondents were cruelly fired without cause. Huh. Okay. Good people were silenced because they stood up for our audience. They stood for fairness against the forces of political bias. No, they didn't. You guys are political bias. And they stood for professionalism against chaos. For my part, new management has instructed me to interject falsehoods, of which he's never been able to prove, and bias, which he's never been able to prove, into politically sensitive story. I've been told to include assertions that are unverified. Okay. To date, in every case, I have managed to ignore these instructions, meaning he is not doing what his employers are. If his employers are telling him to do this, he's not following the instructions. So he's admitting that he just didn't want to do what he was instructed to do. How often do you get to keep a job if you don't do what you're supposed to do? Seems kind of odd. Recently, politicians have. Wait. Bup, 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 uh, recently, let's see, where were we? Recently, politicians have been invited to choose correspondents for interview on the broadcast. Yeah, because they're looking for fair, not biased political opinion, which is all you're capable of, Mr. Pelly. You need to step back and take a broader look at what you've delivered over the course of the last, well, decade at least. So essentially say giving politicians control over 60 Minutes interviews is not how this is done. Incorrect. I promise you, friendly people to Clinton and to Kamala were the ones that were there to interview them, which is why the Kamala interview was edited so heavily. Finally, incompetence and unprofessionalism, which you need to actually prove these statements. These are libelous and slanderous if they're, or it could be both. This is going to be interesting. The entire program came within 10 minutes of not getting on the air at all. Dive deeper. Well, I'm not going to dive deeper. That's a suggestion from AI to dive into what is deeper there. Well, it never should have aired. That's a different conversation. So, at 60 minutes, we've fought harder than anyone knows to save the program that became the American icon. I think that's baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet, but okay. So, we owe that to all the millions of viewers. Millions! This guy has a high opinion of himself, I think. I could be wrong. Anywho, I depart after 37 years. Oh, I depart. Interesting. So, wait, we got to skip the most relevant thing here that his lawyers are going to hate. But now, the collapse of values at the top has become untenable. The leadership of 60 Minutes is no longer recognizable. Yeah, because they fired the losers that you were friends with. The principles I hold dear are gone. Yes, biased news reporting. That's good. And so I must leave as well. Oh, so we were planning on getting fired, trying to get fired, or we're going to indeed quit. I depart after 37 years at CBS with one emotion, a heart brimming with gratitude for the men and women of CBS News who encouraged and enriched my work, very often at the risk of their own lives. Really? Their own lives? You can't equate yourself with Charlie Kirk, you effeminate douchebag. I pray for a day when those people and those ideals are honored again, a day when sanity, competence, and courage return. This guy was fired for cause. Do you think that this was a statement to make publicly in a written form, in a libelous way? Uh, do you think this is going to do well in court? This guy can't claim he was unjustly fired when it presents quite clearly here that he was looking to be removed from his current employment. So being fired for cause, well, that's an easy case to make. So there you go. Interesting, though. Interesting. Thank you for banning the spammer. I appreciate that. Over on the green machine. You guys, this is why I have the best moderators on the planet. Anyway, the Pele story isn't likely one to go away quickly because I have a feeling we'll end up in court and all of this evidence that we just read is going to be presented there. Not great. And we had more people arrive, including Putin, Davina Duckworth, hello, dear, and Shadow Seeker. Oh, gee, what's up? Let's see. We also had Tony weighing in saying, what a pompish douchebag. Yes, the douchebaggery is quite high in the mainstream dinosaur media. So very true. Teddy D, otherwise known as Fitty D. 20 Culture Casino memberships trying to rebuild the ranks of the green names. And for those of you who just got your name turned green, guess what? You're going to get the members first review tonight of Masters of the Universe. That's right. I'm going to see that today. And there we go. Look at all those names go green. Amazing stuff. Our wonderful friend, longtime member of the channel, one of the originals, Captain Fandom Nerd is out in the audience, everybody. It's good to see you, friend. Look at all those names. My goodness. Teddy D, Fitty D. I'm going to say it this way. Thank you. Thank you very much. Aww. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do something I don't do often enough. I'm going to say thank you with a simple thanks from my friend.
Wow, it's generous. I don't really get that kind of money, but glad you do, so thanks.
Holy cow! He did it again. Fitty D dropping 20 more Culture Casino memberships. My goodness, friend, after the explosion last night over on the Perot show, your generosity is unmatched, friend. My goodness. In fact, I've got a generous audience that makes it well worthwhile to play clips like these. Thank you, Fitty D. Fitty D!
Oh, man, that's some sweet cheddar. Guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Fitty D, otherwise known as Teddy D, who has one of the greatest clips over on the Pro Show ever. Ms. Pit Cafe, yes, you have to mention the chat does not update on this side when an event like that happens. So thank you for that. Man, look at all those names go green. I cannot believe this, Teddy. That is so generous. Heading out to work, says JPRPH1. Have a great day or a great rest of your day, folks. I hope you have a great day too, JPRPH1. It's great to see you. Joel Reyes is back in the land of the membership. And again, if your name turned green, you're going to get a Masters of the Universe review, an honest one from me later this afternoon or this evening, your time. Keep an eye out, a keen eye out, in fact. That's right. We got a proper cheese in there. Indeed. Siege Perilous. Dr. Jill throwing the cheesy sauce out there. I love that clip culture. I love it too. I love it too. You guys are the best. I got to keep working with Steve and all of his furry, fluffy creations. You know, I'm trying to work with Snowdub, but Snowdub's got too much going on. What's going on? Speaking of which, I think I'm supposed to appear on Saturday night's Cotton Council on Snowdub's channel. I think I am. So the Demetrius says, "Hey everybody, hello and welcome. We got Tobach back in the land of the living over on the Green Machine. It's good to see you guys. Seriously. All right, what else am I doing? Oh, I have something else to share. I'm going to share another thing, another bonus story for today. Crazy. It's not this one. Get rid of that. Bonk. Let's take a look at this one, which I found is a great way to kill your restaurant business. McDonald's, you're dumb. This from King Arthur fan over there on X says McDonald's is now charging a $1 convenience fee for using the drive-thru. What now? What? Putin wants me to bring a felt glove to the Cotton Council. All right. I'll just be single. Can it be sequined? Look at all these amazing people. But anyway, so yeah, notice there will now be a $1 convenience fee for using the drive-thru. This fee will be added to your receipt. Thank you for your understanding. I do not understand this, and I'm going to tell them to pound sand. I'll be going to McDonald's ever again. Barry doesn't seem like he's going to go either. That kind of reaction is very strong. Yeah, this is pretty wild. Yeah, I haven't had bad food, scratch that. I mean, product from there in probably 20 years. I just want to tell you, I haven't had food. I added the bad. That's bad. Don't add words. Um, it's easy not to eat at McDonald's because you're not really eating food. I mean, I guess it can be described as food. There's a lot of not great things in there, just like there used to be sand, or maybe there still is sand in Taco Bell meat. Very strange. Anyway, they're not looking out for customers at all. Who still eats at McDonald's anyway? Not a lot of people. Easy financing at McDonald's. This is a great sign. The memes are great today. Yeah, Ronald McDonald doesn't look so happy in that picture. They're already testing this in a few places right now to prevent congestion. You used to be able to get a McChicken for the cost of just showing up to McDonald's now. It's pretty insane. The Greedy at Whole Foods is now charging $3 convenience fee for an order online. I did not know that. So look, guys, it's all over the place. Don't pay the convenience fees. Leave these companies out in the cold. Star Wars Nikki says, I guess I won't be going to McDonald's anymore. You know why I liked McDonald's? Because they realized and recognized that they make so much profit on soft drinks that they literally gave you a barrel to put your soda in. They called that a large. It was the size of a small house. You mean if you had a tiny house, you couldn't bring the drink inside. Okay, I'm being hyperbolic, but I'm doing it for a reason. They realized that it cost them 4 cents, including the price of the cup, the lid, and the straw, to give you a giant soda pop. And back when I was drinking soda, McDonald's sodas were perfectly mixed. Whoever did their mix of the box and the bag, which is how they operate the soda machines, had that dialed in perfectly. They never could keep the ice cream machine working, but they could keep the soda machine working, and that was good. Now they want to charge you for refills. Crazy stuff. Mickey D's is already way too expensive because of the $15 an hour wages. Yeah. Look, in the Blue Cities driving up the minimum wage in their state is actually to blame for a lot of catastrophic events in this country. Um, Inflation being primary among them. Then putting artificial taxes on top of petrol and its use, also disastrous. So no bueno. Izzo's Place says, I'm charging you $8 convenience fee for my viewership. Izzo, please don't. I can't afford that. I have a lot of people watching me live right now. Come on. Come on. Will you be doing a Star Wars celebration in LA 2027? I don't know yet. And thank you for the $2 super chat, Archer. If I am, I'll let everybody know. I am going to be at the D23 Expo in August, so uh, that'll be fun. I'm going to be the only person from the team going, which means I got to shoot a lot of B-roll and talk about a lot of the stories that happened. It's going to be interesting. So I sure don't only thing that is real is the meat patties. I don't real is an interesting word to use. Processed cheese food. Does that sound like cheese? Yeah, there's weird stuff going on there. I want to go to McDonald's and get told that so I can tell them what I think. Well, I don't think they're going to like what you think. Culture's sugar daddy, otherwise known as Tony Piacente, which I appreciate for supporting the channel all the time, says, is it the main company or just a franchise? It's a good question. They seem to be testing it in multiple places, according to the folks over on X. Um, so yeah. Yeah. And what's weird is a lot of people that are in that particular chat, you can go find it on X. It's over at King Arthur's King Arthur fans account, which is actually Brandon Wells, um, Brandy L. Wells, I believe. Um, I think I think you're going to see it nationwide. I mean, they have to pay for those automated, boards and voice recognition and AI. How many tokens do you think that McDonald's uses right now? Hard to say. Probably have everything hard coded at this point. I worked at a McD's from 1980 to 1984. I was a crew chief. Oh boy. I would open or close our franchise. That's wild. Yeah, credit cards are getting a swipe fee. We're starting to see that. And nothing exceeds like greed. Indeed. I don't know why. Again, I carry cash. And if you don't accept cash, I report you. Also, if you sell me something that if I weigh and it's not accurate, I'm going to sue you. We are being shorted across the board in many ways, not just in shrinkflation, but like potato chips. 50% of the potato chip bag is air. Um, Take the air out, remove the packaging, and weigh what people are selling you. You oftentimes are going to find you're well short of what they claim on the outside of the package. Not good. I think some of the responses to the story is interesting, even here in the chat. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to it. We got Archer Merchant out there. So yeah, so I, I'm leaning towards being at Star Wars Celebration 2027. We'll see. Fitty D says I never use the drive-through because most places mess up my order. It's easier to go inside and order. Yeah, have you ever seen Ryan at a fast food restaurant? I have in real life. I've watched that guy's head explodes. He seems to be the only person who consistently gets terrible service. It's almost like people want to do that to him. McDollars. Thank you, Caveat Ties. Ah, you guys are on fire. App use at fast food place is generally cheaper, especially McDonald's, which I think is wrong. I'm sorry. I think we're gonna have to get back to a society where we employ people. Hey, Putin, I'm going to tell you right now. You start making convenience fee signs and putting those posts up, real or not, they're going to get shared. They're going to get talked about. And here's the problem. Let's say that this is an inaccurate statement. Let's say that this was fabricated. Let's say that. Okay, well, I'll go along with that logic. The problem is everybody will believe it because this is the level that these companies have stooped to now, right? I mean, we've been sold a lot of fake things for a long time. I think the public is tired of that. I think consumerism, which is what drives the economy anywhere, even if you're a communist, even if you're a socialist, there has to be consumerism in some form or fashion. You have to employ people to produce things, and other people will purchase things in order to sustain themselves or provide for their needs. So anybody pretending that that's a bad plan is a dummy. And yet, you don't need to bilk people, which is why I like, hanging out with the Mennonites and the Amish, which I got an opportunity to do when I was traveling this last go around. It's why I'm relocating to a part of the country that still has some faith and some honor and some dignity. Can't find that readily available in a blue state. So for my friends in California, I feel bad. But I think Putin, you have to agree. It's pretty easy to believe that a company would charge a drive-through fee because, well, they charge $3.50 in some locations for the quick cafe style food. That's been talked about for years now. What else is happening? I want more purple potato fires. I just think we should do that. By the way, this week's That Garden Place, I'm going to show you how I sow the seeds of the new tomatoes, the heirloom tomatoes that I got at the Delano community in Tennessee. I had to travel a long way to get those seeds, and then I had to travel a long way back. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to plant, I think, 4 or 8. I think I'll probably end up planting 8 new tomatoes. As many of my tomato plants are now 5 or 6 years old, and they're starting to look a little rough. By the way, just a quick gardening tip. If you have mostly leaves and you're not getting fruits, number one, it could be too hot. Number two, you're not pruning properly and getting rid of your suckers on your tomatoes. And number three, you're not paying attention to the P in NPK, which means you need to hit it with some phosphorus. Yeah, one meal is 50% of your salt in a day. It's so true. This is 100% true. 5 tacos, Big Mac, Chick-fil-A, one meal is 50% of your salt. Do you know where my salt comes from? My mineral salt water with lemon in it. I do not consume extra salt other than in that form. I rarely add salt to food. I might add salt to my eggs this morning, but I do it with just a pinch across 4 eggs because that's breakfast. 4 eggs and an avocado. I get all the protein and fat right up front. By the way, that's how you want to start your day, is with things that your body can use right away. Walter says, geez, I hope my place will work. Seattle Symphony Orchestra doesn't start charging me a dollar an hour employment convenience fee. That's brilliant, Walter. By the way, I just want to say thanks again. I know I said at the beginning of the show, but thanks again. You were so generous to send me stuff. You guys, again, the P.O. Box, I'll read it real quick. Care of Culture Casino. It's P.O. Box 20307, Mesa, Arizona 85277. So do check that out. Oh boy, we got a story breaking. Cannot wait to cover this. This is coming soon, folks. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but keep an eye out. Stories are about to break over on That Park Place. I'm not kidding. Ones that you're going to want to see. Follow the Bradley's fun. I got hired at McDonald's, got the uniform, and never showed up to work. I worked for McDonald's for probably the shortest period time ever, absent your experience. I showed up. They said, okay, we're going to have you on the front end running the cash register, which is what I wanted to do. And instead, of course, they put me on mop duty and cooking. So you know what happened? When I got to my first break, I walked and never went back. See ya! Thank you, Ms. Pit Cafe, for providing the P.O. box in the chat over on the green machine. Thank you, thank you. Luke is out there. Luke. We got O2RR coming over from Culture Crossfire. Good to see you. And you guys, you missed one of the best dishes ever served over on Follow the Bradley's Fun. We had the perfect crew to talk about everything we talked about over on the dish just a couple days ago with Ron. So you should check that out. Theliato, so many people use cards, and yet there's a freaking fee for them. Yeah, I use cash. If you don't take cash, gonna report you. If you weigh things wrong, gonna report you. Yeah, 50% of a can of soup is lard, and not the good lard either. Bad fats. I've been seeing linoleic acid added to things lately. Somebody said that they were adding that to eggs. I'm going to verify that, but that's wild. Hey, John got off the bus again. Glad to see you're still on. I hate to exchange some bad tech. There you go. Isn't air there to preserve the integrity of the chip? Sure. You know, we didn't add air to bags of chips for a long time. It it supposedly, in order to make the bag look full, doesn't it? When it's inflated. Also, it reduces the amount of chipettes you get because the bags don't get crushed as easily. They have positive pressure, so they can rest against each other on the shelf. Don't listen to what they have to say. They're likely not telling you the truth. Hey, Cavs in the house. Thanks for being here, Kay. Appreciate it. Hello from Culture Crossfire. Thanks for joining us. Smiths and Sons in the house. Hello, hello. Did I miss the daily? We're in the midst of it. We're in the midst of the 6-minute daily. The 6 minutes of news is long gone. We are now 53 minutes into the show and ticking away. Look at all these amazing people. And besides, potato chips aren't healthy, but if you only consume the air, 0 calories. There you go. Actually, my Ninja Fryer makes amazing purple potato chips. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. Once I'm relocated, I will have a farm stand on the property that I'll be stocking with the food that I make from my garden. You will be able to buy healthy things, genuinely organically grown things without any added fungicides, which they are now claiming are not additive or, bad. Come on now. We all know that Haas avocados have been coated in a fungicide. We also all know that a decent chunk of them are being covered by Bill Gates garbage called Appeal. I don't want anything Bill Gates has anything to do with, honestly, including Windows at this point. Anything he thinks is a good idea, dropping mosquitoes on us without our consent, dropping other creatures on us without our consent, trying to spread this terrible thing and push another vaccine on you. Yeah. And this is the problem. Companies pay per fees for every swipe. So they're just passing that to consumers. Yeah. And that's a problem. And this is another problem that I think that the current administration was going to try to fix, including the interest rate for credit cards, that they never did. This is something that I really want to have done. Will you have when you have your new place? Will it have a duck pond? Yes, I'll have ducks and geese. They'll have to share the same waterway. Um, and so one of the reasons why I'm trying to get around 10 to 15 acres minimum, maybe 20. The goal, of course, is to set up the land so that it's productive land. And if you have productive land, you're going to have a lot of pests. So even if you set the edges, which I'm going to teach you about when I build out the land, the estate, um, even when you do that and you put all your pest protection on the exterior of your grounds, you put the multiple barriers there to keep out the bigger pests like deer and things like that. Um, and the trees and the tree line and the hedgerows and everything else to make the place look beautiful and lived in and classic. Um, you still end up with bugs. So, ducks and geese are amazing pest control. Most people don't know that. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, this is true. Thank you, Putin, for mentioning this. McDonald's has microphones, camera, video, and payment records. So if they're not using their own AI, they're really dumb. I agree. I don't order with anything, guys. Do you know what I do? I make food. I'm gonna go breakfast. We're coming up on my breakfast here pretty quickly, right? And so, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get up out of this chair because Putin worries about me getting exercise. I already had a walk this morning, and I'm gonna take another walk and move around in the greenhouse here in a little bit. But I'm gonna take a walk over to the kitchen, and then I'm gonna cook 4 eggs and have an avocado, and that's breakfast. And then I'm going to clean up. And then I'm going to go out in the greenhouse and I'm going to make sure everything is looking happy and healthy. And I'm going to follow up on the potatoes, which I think I need to shade. And I'm going to check on my comfrey. And we're getting close to being able to harvest some of the comfrey. So that'll be a future video. I'm trying to get you guys all caught up with being healthy. I'm gonna force you to be healthy. Where is the FDA to protect us in its important question? That's a good question, actually. They aren't doing a good job. Maha as a movement is a good idea, but it seems to lack the teeth it requires. That's kind of concerning because I like what JFK Jr. has been talking about, excuse me, RFK Jr., not JFK Jr. He passed away in a very mysterious way in a plane crash, which he shouldn't have. Just like kinda John Denver, we can talk about that. But John Denver is a little more understandable. He'd added an additional fuel tank, and he was trying to flip over to the reserve fuel tank, and he turned around behind him to throw the switch. Putting that switch in an untraditional place compromised him, where it was shown that he put his foot down on the rudder, and tipped the plane the wrong direction and, headed into an uncontrollable situation with the plane. Long EZs are incredibly hard to crash because they have a front canard. A canard is a small front wing that arrests the attack angle. And when you drop in speed, at speed, or as you increase your angle of attack, it will lift the front of the plane back up. That's a lot of useless knowledge that you now know. I know a lot of useless things. All right, you guys are brilliant. Thank you for being here. Who else is out there? When are the profits enough? I always look at margins more than I look at profits. I mean, profits are a result of well-controlled margins on things. So, like, I aim for like a 40% margin in business because that's healthy. It can keep, employees employed and things like that. Um, if things are established in a commission structure, you're looking for a net take of about 10% commission if you operate in a commission world. But that can help you establish pretty a pretty successful margin as well. Um, you can get as low as 20% margin, but I always say, if you're in the production business, 40% margin will cover the cost of labor and everything else to get things from one place to another, or it should, in my opinion. You may have a different experience in life. Bill Blum says, I heard a discussion with one of the state biologists regarding bears and bear sightings. Yeah, they're increasing. Lots, lots, lots. I use magnesium salt and bamboo salt. Lots of people do. I use I use a mineral salt, and I use pink Himalayan salt, or that I grind actually. So there's that. I also grind my own peppercorns. I like fresh pepper. John's out there promoting me. Thank you, John. And remember, please tell your friends that this channel rocks. That's right. Tell everybody. We have some amazing people here. All of you are included in that. Even the people that like to fight with me. Hey, check it out. It's the first Dragon Queen. You should check out her channel. She's doing really well. She's apparently got a full-size animatronic culture coming. Is that true? An epic decision was made. Culture Casino, hugs for all. Excellent. I hope you go to Epic. You guys are amazing. Putin says, I was going to play with Claude AI, then I realized I would have to start up a virtual machine to protect myself. Yeah, I know. Isn't that wild? Like, I have a whole laptop that's dedicated to just doing exactly that. And that way it can't get out, right? It can't go wild through my network. It can't do anything. So it is very tunneled and controlled. And I have strict firewall guidelines now, so it's wild stuff. That doesn't mean I'm unhackable because nobody is, and now that they keep finding 0 days in Windows, that's a real problem. And in a lot of apps like Discord and stuff. Holy cow. Barry bought 4 omnibus of classic DC comics. Amazing. 3 Legion of Superheroes collections and a deluxe hardcover Crisis on Infinite Earths, which actually was really good. Young people should not tell us old people how to work. Well, I think that's troublesome. Yeah. Look, I've been doing things the hard way my entire life. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, the air protects the chips if you lay all the bags flat. They probably won't last, but we could put them in cereal boxes. That's also true. And you know what? We all of a sudden discovered that, hey, paper bags were good. Plastic bags are bad. Oh, duh. A duh. And more a duh. You waste a ton of oil making a plastic bag. Paper is recyclable easily. A lot of people still have paper bags. I save paper bags. When stores give me paper bags, I save them. I store my seed potatoes in them. I store my onions in them. I use paper bags. Reusable. Look at all these great people. Lady Gamester's here. We used to get chips in a can called Charles. Hey, we also, Pringles, which technically I don't think you can call Pringles a potato chip. In fact, I think nowhere on them does it say that because they are so overly processed. I don't know. Alex Clark says, yeah, potato chips aren't healthy at all. I'm actually getting my, or doing potato chips with avocado oil. But yeah. Yeah. So it protects the chips and also cushions. It does. And that's why they stand the bags up vertically. I don't mind that the bag's inflated, but don't sell me a product that says a listed number of ounces on it that don't have a listed, that are nowhere close to reality. It's another problem that's happening in coffee too. I noticed that the other day. I'm like, not only have they reduced the ounces in the coffee that I'm buying, but it's not the actual ounces of coffee I'm getting. Are they measuring the ounces with the packaging? Because I don't want to pay for packaging. Yeah, why is it called a convenience fee when it's inconvenient? I don't know. Why are they starting to add tips to freaking fast food? Pardon my French. I said freaking. So answer me that. Why am I tipping a fast food worker that's making $15 an hour, unlike an actual restaurant worker that's making like $2.13 or whatever it is? I don't know. I'm just gonna wear a hood. or a baklava and sunglasses. Reflective, polarized sunglasses. And I will put rocks in my shoes so my gait isn't consistent. Because they do gait analysis now, how people walk to identify who they are. We are in a terrible world at the moment, and we need to get rid of it. I did not see Tom Connor's epic rant. I'm intentionally trying to stay away from um, their conversation about Masters of the Universe. Why? Because I want to give an honest review that is untainted by other people's opinions. And look, I love when Tom opines on stuff, especially things he's passionate about. One Punch Man Tolkien fan. So my answer is I will watch it after I've recorded my own video. Video. 6 is in the house. Good to see you. Lovely lady joins us today. But yeah, I will watch it because first of all, I love when Tom rants, and second, um, again, I'll watch it as soon as I've seen the film because my yeah, I'm becoming a bag lady. There you go. I avoid canola oil, vegetable oil, no seed oils in my house now. None. Not one. Not one. I do not believe ingesting machine oil is a good idea. No bueno. Corn chips are better, but too many of them form a rock in your stomach. That's true. Of course, everything I'm doing is natural corn. I'm also doing natural flour. In fact, I'm going to build a hugel culture mound as a demonstration here at the house, so you guys can follow along with what that is. It's mound culture. It's a way of growing plants and not having to water regularly, especially after the first year. The wood that makes up the internal workings of the bed and becoming the body of organic food um, basically soaks up water, expanding the wood 3 times. It can soak up 3 times its weight in water. The wood can. So you even in the summer you're really not focusing too much on watering. So I'm going to show you that methodology and all of that. So yeah. No tips on fast food. Yeah. Well, I saw that at Disney one time. I was like, no, no. How much a tip do you want to leave? I'm sorry, what? What's your hourly rate? Because if it's over $2.13, you ain't getting a tip. Sorry. I'm a generous person, but I'm not an idiot. Putin, I wish I could highlight that because it's funny, but no. Did you see Tom singing dressed as He-Man? No, I did not. Did a rate specialist do that, or did you do that? You guys are just amazing with the memery. I love it. Crisps are British chips, indeed. Yeah, the whiskey industry is slowly sneaking 700 milliliters instead of 750. It makes sense because they sell in 700 in foreign countries, but of course they're not lowering the price as they make the change. Izzo, that is bad news for me. I'm going to be very angry. Of course, I'm a red wine kind of guy with dinner. Oof. All right, what else we got? Love. Love is what we got. I said, remember that. I said, love is what I got. I don't cry when my dog runs away. All right, we got to get out of here. Hey, matzo balls, what's up? Culture, morning to you. great to see your face. Yeah, well, you're going to see more of it. I got to shave again. Gots to shave again. Get some of the hair off the neck too. I hate that. I hate that. I hope you're doing well. Hope everyone in chat is doing well. I haven't been around as much recently. I was oh shoot, cancer, AML. My friend, I'm glad they caught it early. I really truly am. Hopefully, you've already got a plan established, friend. I'll be praying for you. I'll be okay. Just an annoying twice a week chemo drip for now. Oh, all right. That's rough, friend. It really truly is. But I'm glad you're here. And like I said, I'll be praying for you. On that note, I pray for everybody all the time. I love you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. And for those of you who contributed to the show today, extra special thank you. Because again, this channel needs about 1,000 members to sustain itself. The additional super chats and things like that allow me to, well, go on travel and see you all, which is kind of the plan for the next year. I think WDW Pro let it slip last night that we are going to be gathering at the Southeast Game Exchange in South Carolina, which is about 6 weeks away. So take a look at that. And then I will be, again, as I said, I will be at the D23 Expo event in California in August. So with all that being said, and with everybody out there, it's so good to see you. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. For real. When injustice strikes, I strike back.
Why, hello there, random citizen.
Oh, hey there, little buddy. How's it going?
Have you subscribed to CultureCasino yet?
Well, no,
Friggin'
Oh!
These guys, I tell ya.
Oh!
Dang it, I missed. Why won't these guys just subscribe already?
That hurt.
Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you over on the WDW Pro Show Special Edition. And That Park Place coming up next. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others. And I can't wait to see ya later with my review of Masters of the Universe. Bye.